afternoon when the 11-member select committee that was tasked with probing his ouster tables its report in Parliament. Linturi is facing removal from office on grounds of gross violation of the Constitution and gross misconduct. He is accused of approving the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board, as well as engaging in a public spat with journalists who unearthed their scandal. In his final submission Friday, the embattled CS pleaded with the Naomi Wako-led committee to save him from impeachment, arguing that the allegations leveled against him in relation to the fake fertilizer scandal had not been substantiated.
Friday, the committee probing allegations leveled against Agriculture CS Mithika Linturi finalized the proceedings. The two sides pleading with the committee to consider their submissions. The mover of the motion, Bumula MP Jack Wamboka, maintained that the CS must be held liable for the fake fertilizer scandal, calling on the 11-member committee chaired by Marsabit woman representative Naomi Wako to recommend his ouster.
There are so many ways of killing a rat. Some would use rat and rat. Some would burn the house. I would sit on the rat and it would die. There are so many ways on this. One of them is select committee. We will be proceeding ahead on this because we are determined for the Kenyan farmer. Mithika Linturi must go. For fake fertilizer, for Bonoko fertilizer, for substandard fertilizer, Mithika must go.
However, Linturi's side pleaded with the committee to save him from impeachment, claiming the session had been turned into prosecuting his failed love life.
This motion before you is a petty calumny. It is a petty gossip about personal love and affection. It is a witch hunt. And because it is all those things, we would be scandalizing our constitution on the occasion of today if we were to say the Honorable Linturi should vacate office.
The Agriculture CS now has a date with Destiny on Monday when the committee tables its report during a special sitting of Parliament.
What is next for this committee? From here, we embark on the report writing exercise as required under Article 152(7) of the Constitution.
Linturi is facing removal from office on grounds of gross violation of the Constitution and gross misconduct. He is accused of approving the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB. Daniel Kariuki, KTN News, Nairobi.
Now, the 11-member select committee, which is chaired by Marsabit woman representative Naomi Wako, is set to table the report in Parliament this afternoon. Now, our political reporter Emmanuel Tor has pitched tent in Parliament, and he now joins us live for the latest updates. Good afternoon to you, Tor. You are at the Parliament buildings as we await for the report to be tabled before the August House. What's the latest from the Parliament buildings, Tor?
Well, I thank you very much. Definitely, it's a big day for Linturi and the 11-member committee that is probing the allegations that have been leveled against the CS. And for the first time, we are getting to this level of impeachment where that committee is set to produce and give a report and table a report before the House in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes or so. And remember, it as the chairperson of that committee, Naomi Wako, who is the woman member of Parliament for that county, or rather the county that she's representing, is set to have that report tabled. And there have been concerns that perhaps the numbers that are there in that committee have played a big role in letting off the hook the CS, but we wait to have that confirmation. Remember, that committee is constituted of 11 members, 6 from Kenya Kwanza, 1 from Jubilee, which is a parliamentary party, and actually 4 from the Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya side. And we wait to see whether whether the Kenya Kwanza side will have a sway in this vote. Remember, the CS had been facing three main allegations that actually were linked to the fertilizer scandal that had rocked the country for a few days. And we wait to see whether that committee will of course cement his impeachment or will have him removed from office. Remember, 149 members of parliament had voted in support of that impeachment motion that has been brought to the House by the member of parliament for Bumula, Jack Wamboka, whom we spoke with a few hours ago, and he said that he's waiting to see whether that impeachment will go through or not, but we wait to see that validation or not in a few minutes. But something else that is coming up during this special sitting, remember it is a special sitting that was called by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, is that debate about the Finance Bill 2024. Remember, we always have these bills in every financial year, and some of those issues that have been raised include the increase or the rise in the cost of bread that has been proposed that will be going up by at least 10 shillings. And we are here with some of the members of the opposition, and I'm joined by the minority leader in the Senate, Stuart Mazaya, to give us some of the details. Remember, this bill will come to the Senate immediately after being passed or not, or being considered by the National Assembly. Thank you so much, Leader. Just come closer. Let's start with that proposal. What are the reservations by the opposition about this bill? Because I know you have opposed it so far.
Yes, asante sana ndugu yangu Charles. Ndugu yangu kwa maoni haya. Kitu cha kwanza mimi nataka kueleza wa Kenya ni kwamba hii bili ya fedha ikiwa inakuja bunge la kitaifa, kitu cha kwanza nataka kusema ni kwamba hii bili isije ikawa kuongeza pesa ili kuumiza wa Kenya. Serikali inatakana kufanya mikakati yake na kuona ya kwamba imeweza kusaidia Mkenya. Lakini kadri vile tunaona hivi sasa, ukiangalia utakuja kuona bei ya mkate ni bei imeenda juu, kwa sababu kumekuwa na ile tunaita 16% ya VAT ndio imeongezeka. Kwa hiyo kumaanisha kwamba mkate ambao uko na gramu 400 utakuwa sasa umeongezeka kwa shilingi 10. Sasa tukiangalia Mkenya, shilingi 10 ni pesa nyingi sana. Mkenya hawezi kuishi katika hii nchi. Ni jambo la kusikitisha. Hicho ndio kitu cha kwanza ambacho nafikiria serikali izingatie, kwamba badala ya kumsaidia Mkenya iweze kumwokoa. Tumeweza kuona pia vile vile mambo ya bank katika hii bili ya fedha. Nasema ya kwamba kama wewe ukiandika cheki ama ukideposit pesa, hiyo itakuwa na VAT. Sasa tunauliza, hii mambo ya VAT ambayo inaendelea mpaka ndani ya pesa zako ambazo umeweka katika bank iko namna gani? Nasema kwamba hii si sawa kabisa, ya kwamba bei ya mkate hivi sasa ukiangalia wa Kenya hawawezi kuishi. The cost of living is so high, ya kwamba sisi tunasema ya kwamba maisha yale ambayo Mkenya anaishi hivi sasa yaweze kushuka chini, na sasa tunaona ya kwamba wameipandisha juu. Kwa hiyo si jambo ambalo tunaweza kulifurahia zaidi. We are not happy about the whole thing.
All right. And perhaps, you know, the government has to raise taxes, it has to finance its budget, and we need to get this money from somewhere. Don't you feel it that way, that we also need to tax and get this money?
Well, you need to tax and get the money, yes. But I think the rise, it shouldn't be up to that extent. Kenya is one of the most expensive countries that anybody can imagine to live in. We are faced with numerous problems, including ministers who are not even operating in their offices. I don't know where they operate from, but we have people who do not even know how to manage ministries. Yeah. Right now, the disorganization within this government is just too much. And I think the best solution is for the president to ensure that he puts the right ministers to assist him in running this government.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Asante sana. Well, that has been the leader of the minority party in the Senate, Stuart Madzayo, giving us some of his views. Remember, we have two key businesses of the House this afternoon, starting with that impeachment motion for Linturi, the CS for Agriculture, and also the Finance Bill 2024 that is now the talk of town until the end of June 30th, where that financial year, the next financial year starts. So we will be keeping our eyes and ears on the ground to see what the outcomes of these two key businesses will be